I don't know why my freaking thing keeps messing up my name. What's going on, brother?
What up, bro?
I can't call it trying to maintain in this madness. I'm trying to figure out why my name keeps being messed up every time I log into Zoom.
Hmm.
That's weird. And every time I change it, and then I log back in, it changes back to that gibberish. That's crazy. Oh man.
So what's been going
Glad.
on, bro?
Uh, safe was out there standing for the people, and just I, I'm at a loss for words for everything. Just got finished checking on all my people. Just chopped it up with Flash too, making sure he was all right because this madness is everywhere.
Yeah, man. It's
Uh,
down here in Raleigh, everywhere, man. And people are doing all kinds of stuff. As a matter of fact, we had a Grandmaster, our most worshipful Grandmaster, just called a meeting with all the district deputies in their jurisdiction, and I literally just got off a call with them, not even 3 minutes ago, and on something that we're trying to organize because Prince Hall Masonry, we have to we it's definitely gotten to the point where we have to do and say something. So that is being organized as of 3 minutes ago. So you guys will hear more about that, and then we'll go from there, man. Rod, what up?
think he muted.
Yeah, you got to unmute yourself, bro. I put it on there that everybody that comes in is muted initially, so that if once we get going, everybody come in and talk. And then I saw that Disco posted that he was doing something today, so I removed that post uh, from the timeline for now.
Yeah, I mean, and he knew. I
Yeah,
just hit Joe up. Joe just hit me up, so I just hit Joe back up.
yeah. So I just
Yeah,
put
he
everything
just he just texted me too.
in the group, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Light went out.
And I'm gonna go out real quick and look. Um,
I'm gonna let me copy them.
Freaking lighter dying on me.
Let me do something.
no problem, bro.
Mm,
Your call.
okay, let me do something real quick.
But yeah, it's pretty bad here though, bro. They
Yeah.
got the guard on almost every quarter.
Yeah.
It's real. It's long overdue though. I'm not justifying the looting, but I can say that our people have had enough. You know what I'm saying? It's enough when you see it around the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just hope that history doesn't repeat itself like during the civil rights movement and then it's swept under the rug and they go back to, killing our people yet again. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, this is literally around the corner from me. If y'all watching the news,
Mm-hmm.
52nd Street is like a block, literally around the corner. And I'm sitting here.
Yeah, because like my aunt was saying that they all in the alley behind her house and whatnot. Like that's the part I don't get. Like you taking trash cans from people's houses and set them on fire. Like what sense does that make?
Yeah.
What's going on, Lionel? Oh, he muted too.
Hey, not much, man. Just here, chilling in the house.
I know that's right, man. Stay safe.
Trying to, man. What you guys up to?
Well, Square Knot said that we about to hit First National up, so we just waiting for the plans.
Yeah, in that case, I'm
I
down.
told him I'm gonna meet him in Belize. Just mail me my.
Hey, Square, now they looting us up in North Carolina?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they done set the fire, to burn shit, then loot it. But what some are catching is that the looting is not initiated by us.
Right.
It's just that we are reacting to that, which now we have to make sure that people understand before you. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be looting anyway. Number two, you jump into something like that. Think. Is your life, is your freedom worth a TV or a microwave or a set of tires, an alternator? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about these things. Stop being a dumbass with it, and do something else. If you want to, have an effective change, you got to do it in numbers at the ballot box.
Right.
Because you can all you're doing is when you loot is you are tearing down your own community and risking the chance of the same thing that you took and looted or someone else broke in and looted. When it comes around to that time that you need that specific thing, you're not going to be able to get it. You go
I
and
was
you
just
go
in
you
town. I
go
just
you
told
go
Flash that.
you go and loot and bust in a CVS. Now CVS has a pharmacy in it. Now that
was just
pharmacy
about
that
that.
pharmacy is a community pharmacy that who needs medicine the most? Elderly people. Elderly
Right.
people who aren't able to aren't as mobile as we are. Now
Man,
you
sick
you
kids.
burn
Yeah.
you burn you burn down the CVS, you go and take everything out the CVS. CVS says, fuck it. I'm closing and I'm not coming back here. Now, these elderly people don't have a local resource for their medication. They have to go outside the community to get their medication, which means the chances of them having delays on getting their medication, if it's not mailed to them, is greater. So you not only affected yourself because you were thinking only about yourself at the moment, you affected an entire community, and in a very adverse way.
Square,
That's
now
why I
you got
said
Rasheen in the Zoom.
All right. Grand Wizard Rasheen.
salute.
Salute. We got you. Let me go ahead on and do this right here. I can unmute you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
All
now.
right. What's up, brothers?
How you
What's
doing?
What's
on,
going
King?
on, man?
Everything is
Oh,
good.
man.
Everything is good. Glad to have you, man.
Oh, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm blessed.
Yes.
Y'all brothers. You know what I mean?
Oh, let me hit that up.
I see your picture scroll that you was talking about now.
Yeah. Is that
that's
cool?
Oh yeah, that's perfect. That is definitely perfect. Yes, indeed. Most definitely. How you been feeling?
Oh, man. Oh, I feel great. Almost 60, you know what I mean? June the 5th.
Oh, June 5th.
That's a blessing, man.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. That's it.
I hear you on
Hey,
that.
man. Like I said, I'm wonderful, and I'm better than I ever was.
I feel you. That's a beautiful thing, man. Just to have that and to know, that here you are coming up on 60 and you on this side of the dirt and you're looking towards more and you're feeling great about it. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And I'm glad. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna go. No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm glad to be here with y'all. Y'all
Yes,
doing
sir.
this like that.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming for sure. And Rod Flash and I, we got to talking, and one of the things I said, and well, we both said in terms of the group wise is you know, the DJ information group, you know, we try to, you know, go by the standards of being able to teach, learn, you know, invite DJs in that we, you know, that can be taught, that we can learn from, that we can uplift, and just overall just do whatever we can in the culture to keep us focused, you know, on what's going on now and what has gone on in the past in terms of that causes us to do what we do today. You know, as simple as that conversation you and I had about the way we sit our turntables now, you know,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of that. So, you know, just thinking about everything and just thinking about how that, you know, back in, what was it? You said 1976
Yeah.
up to
But
now
Right.
is
yeah.
still effectively the way we do things. So, but we're just waiting a couple more minutes for a few more to come in, and
Okay.
then we're gonna go on in, and I'm gonna introduce you officially, and then as a matter of fact, you know Rod Flash.
Yes.
So you know what, Rod, I'm gonna let Rod Flash introduce you because he knows you. You guys have a personal connection, and
Yeah.
and
Rasheen, what's up, bro?
What's
so
up, brother? How
I
you
had to
been?
get him in here.
Yeah.
You
And
chilling?
Big
I just,
time.
I just got off the phone with Dave.
Oh yeah. Yo,
Yeah,
what's up? What's happening?
chilling. What about you?
Oh man. Yo, I'm good, man. I'm blessed.
Same here
the
in Michigan.
protege.
Yeah. Most
Shit, we got
definitely.
like up again. Shit, we used to have some fun.
Yeah, all of us. All at the
Hey,
club.
especially the time we had to drive the car backwards, and I had to
Are you
do
still tell that story?
Yeah.
the true story.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Flash?
What's going on, man?
Mm.
Chilling.
so how's it doing up in Connecticut, Rasheen?
Oh man, I'm doing all right up here. You know, I'm winning awards up here. I only been up here like a couple months and I won like 2 awards.
Flash. Shit, Dave said you still in New York.
No, I moved from New York, Albany to here.
Oh, okay.
But before I left New York, I won an award in New York. I won a hip hop museum award, the Hip Hop Boulevard.
Oh
Museum.
yeah, I saw that. Congrats on that.
Yeah. Then they wanted to put me in the hip hop museum in the Bronx, and I did a show up there with Theodore.
Man, Theodore is good people's, man. That's the homie.
Shit, I won the award for most times being in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
But no, let's hold some of the questions and accolades because I know we want to ask them eventually,
Yeah.
and that way we ain't seem like we talking about the same shit.
All right.
Gotcha.
Because like I said, I'll just tell y'all, my whole story. How a lot of people don't know how I started.
All right, I'm just going to mute it because I already know the whole story.
Yeah.
Listen more.
You know, majority of it. Like
Right.
nobody never know nobody's whole story.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
whole story, but I know the majority.
Yeah. Even the majority, because he's been around me. But majority of people don't know. They
Right.
think, they don't even know I used to dance. You know what I mean? They don't know.
we won't get into that because
Yeah.
you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that.
I ain't even going to say that part he was about to skate you.
Yeah.
Was one of the dancers is somebody y'all never respect, but I know the story. So, but
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm going on mute. So
a lot of people don't know. That's why I said we might. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna give it just
Shit,
a couple.
actually, before y'all do, the first club I ever DJ at, Rasheen got me in there.
them teeth with Sambu,
Yep.
drunken ass Sambu.
Yeah.
Every week we would get fired.
Yeah.
Your DJ equipment get the hell out of here.
Yeah. That was the days, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Shit,
I'm
we
surprised
said-
nobody even tried to get that building.
Yeah,
Nobody,
no, you know what? That roof is messed up.
But still, you good. That's the easy fix.
no, the people tried to get it. She wouldn't sell it.
Oh, your wife want to sell it?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So she's still holding on to it.
So the wife was cool with seeing Boo when he was drunk.
Yeah. That was a fun time.
Hey, whatever happened to Bernard?
I have no idea.
I don't know. And you know what? I asked color people from down the bottom. They don't even know. Like,
Damn, because I remember who was it? Last time somebody told me they seen him on a moped.
I heard about that too. He kind of big to be on a moped. That looked like Fat Albert on a tricycle.
Hey, that ain't no good, man.
Man, that look at that. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all talk.
What
Yeah,
we're
with
gonna
the static ass mic.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead on, and we're gonna give ourselves a 30-second blank, and then after that,
can y'all see me?
Yeah, we see you.
Yeah, we see you.
Oh, okay.
We see you good. You got it. All
Right.
is well there, and we hear you just really clear. You're really clear.
Right, that's good.
Big Ruff is in the house. DJ Lionel is in the house. DJ Genius, DJ Rod Flash, myself, DJ Square Knife, DJ Big Time, and I'm quite sure some others are gonna pop in. But we ain't gonna hold you up. We respect your time.
Everybody mute.
No, I'm good.
Everybody mute with Steve, Rasheen, and Square Knife.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it over to Rod Flash, and Rod Flash is gonna give an official introduction to one of Philly's own hip hop legends, and we're gonna take it from there. So we're gonna do a 30-second, like maybe a 30-second block, and everyone is gonna go mute except for Rasheen and Flash, and then we'll take the whole interview and everything from there. So we're gonna do that starting right now. And give yourself about 20 seconds, Flash, and then begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Information Group, I'd like to introduce one of, I'm not going to say a Philly legend, a legend in the DJ culture. And he's the reason why a lot of you DJs set your turntables up the way you do. He's also created and toured two of the world famous, which y'all say the best DJs in the world. I'm not going to get into names, but I'm going to let him tell y'all that. Let's welcome Grand Wizard Rasheen.
Okay, what's up, my brothers? How y'all doing?
What's good?
All right, man. It's great to be here. You know, I love Philly. You know, that's my spot. I'm from Southwest Philly, where I grew up at. And tell me what y'all want me to talk about, and I'll get right to it. I know a lot of people don't know who I am, but, you know.
Well, let's give them a brief introduction of who you are and what you've done in the DJ culture.
All right, well, I'll give y'all the short version, then I'll go into how I became that. All right, I'm Grand Wizard Rasheen. Most people know me as David Roberts or David Rasheen, whatever. I used to dance in a group called Franchise Dancers. And also, I had another group called Super Bad Disco. And we was all Southwest Philly. And we used to go around and challenge people dancing, soul stepping. And basically, Franchise Dancers was like the best group in Philly, doing it, you know, cha-cha and all that soul stepping stuff. So also I had a group, Super Bad Disco, my boy Grand Slam, DJ Jam, and, you know, Master Groove, Steve. And, you know, one day, I got some turntables and, no, let me tell you, I got to tell y'all the whole story so y'all can understand it. All right. This is what happened. All right. Now check it out from the beginning. Y'all got y'all books ready. Here it go. Mm-hmm. All right. Look, when I was 5 years old, my mom bought me a reel-to-reel and a pair of red cherry apple Congo set, a bongo set, the big joints. I'm 5 years old. I had a 4-track recorder and bongos. So, you know, because my mom, she used to sing. My mom sounded like Aretha Franklin when she sang. And I had an uncle, her brother, used to sound, well, he still sounded like Nat King Cole. He sounded exactly like Nat King Cole when he sang. So I'm growing up listening to these two battle each other. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, when I got 5, she bought me those instruments, which got me into music more. So as I start growing up and, you know, becoming good on the bongos and congos, my mom bought me some drums later on. After I got the drums, maybe around about 7, 8, something like that, you know, I became real good on them. And then, you know, from playing the drums real loud, you know, mom like, oh, you got to get rid of them. So I had to get rid of my drums. So since I got rid of my drums, I used to beat on the cars. You know what I mean? So I started beating on the cars, and me and my boy, we used to just play beating on the cars, and we tried to start our own band. We was like the Bill Cosby Junkyard Band. So, you know, then we start dancing, because Soul Stepping was just coming out at that time in the 70s. It's around about 75 or 6, something like that. And it was a lot of soul stepping and cha-cha and GQ and whatever you want to call it. So we started our little group. It was Super Bad Disco. And we was like, you know, like the best in the city at that time. Then I got this tape from New York with Grand Wizard Theodore, Grandmaster Flash, the Cold Crush, the Treacherous 3, the Funky, you know, it was a tape like that from New York that, you know, they did in their house and at the park. So me and my boys used to listen to those tapes all day and all night until their routines became our routines, right? So, but I heard this DJ cut. I heard Flash. I heard a lot of DJs, but I heard this DJ named Theodore. He was needle dropping. So I'm like, dang, I had never heard nothing like that. So I was like, dang, I like that dude, and I want to DJ now. I want to be like him, right? So I said, all right, well, I got to get me some tables. So I asked my mom to buy me some turntables. So she bought me some black BSR turntables, all right? I don't know if y'all know what they are, old 70s turntable. And they used to eject we put it at the end, right? So I got some of them, and in my room, I had a real small dresser. And when I got my turntables and my mixer, for me not seeing how Flash and Theodore used to mix, and I wasn't paying no attention to no Philly DJs at the time because I was dancing. I wasn't paying no attention to no DJs. So I never knew how they set their tables up. So since I had this real small dresser in my room, I couldn't fit the turntables the regular way that people had turntables, you know, like flashing them. So what I did, I turned them to the side. I just looked at it like it was a puzzle, and I turned them sideways, and they fit, right? And then I put my mix in the middle, and I added my dance. What happened? I added my dance moves, my spins, and my twirls, and under the legs, and all that. I added all those tricks to my mixes and cuts. And that became Philly battle style. You know what I mean? Just because I didn't have enough room on my dresser to put my turntables. I didn't know no better anyway. So when people saw me mix like that, they'd be laughing. Well, you know, they ain't laugh when I was mixing. I mean, they laugh when I set it up, because they never seen nobody do that. So I used to go to like the B-Force parties and stuff like that. And because we used to hang out together, because we had a Master Groove was in my group Superbad, and he was Disco Dave's cousin. So we used to hang with B-Force a lot and do shows. So one day, now I'm still dancing, but I'm mixing. Really, a lot of people never really, because I was just mixing in my room and at parties around the neighborhood. So people never really saw me mix. You know, a lot of people still thought I just danced. And I was a tailor too. I used to make all of our clothes. You know, I made the whole group clothes. So around about, let me see, what year? I'm moving up a little bit. I guess around about 78 or 79. No. A year after that, I met a group called Franchise Dancers. Ronnie Ryan and their group. They was from the other part of Southwest, right? And what happened? I'm on my block with my boombox, and me and my boys practicing. So Ryan comes up to me with his boys, you know, because Franchise, they were like the best in the city at that time, Southwest besides us. And they came on my block because we, you know, I always got my boombox out and I'm practicing. So they came out and said, yo, we want to battle y'all. And to a guy like me, I was like, sure, let's go. So, you know, we battled Franchise, and basically I beat their whole group. So since I beat their whole group, they was like, yo, man, you nice. You need to be with our group, right? And leave your group. Right. So, you know, me and my boys got into, after I said, yeah, me and my other boys got into a little, you know, argument about that, but I still stayed with them. And I stayed with Franchise too. So I was in both groups. So, all right, now I'm dancing for Franchise, and I'm dancing and rapping and mixing for Superbad. All right. So now at that time, let me see. We had a lot of young boy groups that was around the neighborhood. So, and they all wanted to be part of the group. So people like Will Smith had a sister, and she used to, and we put his sister in our group. And we had like a girl harmony group. So we put her in it, and Will Smith, you know, I guess she was in it because she's going to practice all the time. And he was like, yo, I want to rap with y'all too. So when he came down, you know, we put him in a group. We put him on our young boys group with me, my boy Jamie, Fresh, and I think Groove. It was somebody else. So they became, I forgot, the Hypnotic 3, something like that. And you know, we just made him my young boy group. We taught them the routines, the dance, whatever they, you know, needed. And then after that, I joined the station with Stone Michael. Stone Mike had a radio station. He said, yo, I just built this station, and I need you to bring those turntables and stuff over, you know, bring your beats and your turntables over, you know, let's start this station. So I only lived around the corner from Stone Mike. So I brought all my beats, and I had a lot of them. And I brought my beats to the his house, and we hooked it up to the station, and he lived right across the street from Bobby Dance on Whitby Avenue. All right, at that time, Bobby Dance was going with this girl named Lady B. She wasn't on the radio or nothing like that. She just, that was just his girlfriend at the time, because he was doing a lot of parties in the neighborhood. So me and Mike started the station, and it was called WSMP. So WSMP, I don't know how far in Southwest that went, but all I know is that everybody was listening to it, because it was the first station that played hip hop, period. It wasn't no hip hop station before I started playing in hip hop. And the hip hop that I was playing, it wasn't even called hip hop. It was break beats, really. Break beats wasn't even out. It was just 70s disco records, and I used to cut the breaks like Theodore. And I used to play Grand Wizard Theodore tapes, Grandmaster Flash tapes, all those tapes that I had, I played them on the air. So it sounded like WBLS, something like that. You know what I mean? So people used to listen and tape my shows, and, you know, and then they used to copy, you know, my cuts and stuff that I was making up on them. And when I was making the cuts, you know, I was wild back then. So I'll do a cut. I never used to practice. So I'll be making stuff up on the air. So all my shows were never the same. So I would make a cut up, zigga, zigga, zigga. I'll never do it again. And then people let me hear a tape that I did. They were like, yo, I'm gonna bite this cut right here that you did. You know, and I don't remember I did it, but they let me hear the tape, and I was like, oh, okay. It didn't matter to me because I had so many cuts. You know what I mean? So I let them, you know, take it. All right, so now me and Franchise, we doing shows all over the city. All right. Now, at that time, I came out with this record called I came out with a record called No More Roxanne. And my group, they called us the East Coast Crew. And it came out with this guy named Mike Nice that owned Dancing on Air. If y'all know about Dancing on Air, Channel 17. He owned Dancing on Air. Plus he had a record company called Shit Records, the Shit Records. So he was like, Rasheen, you know, I like the way you make beats and stuff, because he heard me make these beats for this other guy that I used to work for named Fred Carter. I was making beats for his video. He had a video company, a modeling company, and he had this model agency, and he said, make this beat for this videotape called Free and Easy. That was the name of the company, Free and Easy. So I made like 3 videos for him. And after I made those 3 videos for him at Mike Knight's studio, Mike Knight came to me and said, yo, I need you to make a record about Roxanne, because I'm tired of that Roxanne stuff. There's too many records about Roxanne. So I made the beat up that night, and I wrote the words and the lyrics. So he got a guy from New York, and he got a guy from New Jersey, and me and my boy Ron and them, and he called us the East Coast Crew. So that record came out, you know, went around the world, whatever, all that. And, you know, people never knew it was me. So what happened is that I didn't feel as though I was getting enough money. So I got off his record contract. And I started my own label called Franchise Records. Now, while I started Franchise Records, I came out with a record called, the album was called Franchise Live from My Basement, or Live from Our Basement, Franchise Live from My Basement. And we had 6 songs on it. One of the songs was called, it was a song about bad luck called Just Not Your Day. Right? Now, at this time, Lady B, she was on the air about this time. So, you know, she was playing hip hop. So, you know, I got it played on her station, and everybody was listening to it. And so we at the park at the plateau. So me and my boy Ron up at the top of the plateau, Will Smith come running all the way up, because by then he done met Jazzy Jeff. All right? He done met Jazzy Jeff, and he was like, yo, Rasheen, that record that you got called Just Not Your Day, I need to use that for our new album coming out. So I was like, all right, you my boy, go ahead. Right? So a month after I told him he could use it, they came out with a song called Just One of Those Days. All right? Just One of Those Days. If you look on his first album, it's a song called Just One of Those Days. That's my record that he's singing. He switched the words up a little bit, but the whole story is the same. If anybody listened to my record, everybody, when it first came on, they thought it was me. You know, they're like, Rasheen, you got a new record out? I was like, no, I got the same one. He said, well, somebody using your record. So I said, oh, that's my boy Will. He in our group. So you could do it, you know what I mean? Now, only one problem I had with that. Will and Jeff never gave me no credit on the album. He never even told people they got the song from me. To this day, nobody know. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only problem I got there. And I always tell them too. But now, also, I got to go back a little bit more, just back before Will met Jeff. Now, while I was on the radio station at WSMP, we had a Cash Money. Jerome Hewitt was a dancer for us. He was a young boy at the time. And the reason we used to use Cash because he was real little at the time. He was real small. So the girls used to think he was cute when we send him out there. We taught him a little step. They think, oh, look at him do the little dance. You know what I mean? So what happened, Cash grew up real fast. So he wasn't tall. He wasn't short and cute no more. So we couldn't really use him for that little thing. So one day he just said, Rasheen, can you teach me how to do that scratching stuff you doing? I really would like to learn that. So I was like, all right, after rehearsal, come over to my house and I'll teach you. So every night after rehearsal, dance rehearsal, he'd come over and I taught him how to stand, how to hold a record, what a beat was. I taught him about all the New York people. Basically everything that I knew, I tried to teach him so he would know it. I taught him how to tap his feet so he can keep the beat. I taught him how to do rhythm cuts. I taught him how to do any type of cut that you could think that you probably hear him do. I taught him how to do it. All right. I taught him, even though I'm teaching you this, you got to come up with your own stuff. You do my stuff first, but then switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean? And if you ask him, he'll always tell you that I told him to always be different. Be like me, but don't be like me. Because I used to, because that's how our group was. I said, even though we might do the same steps, you still got to do something different. We was like a multi-talented group. You couldn't just come in our group and dance. You had to do something else. So basically, that's what I was trying to teach Cash. And Cash picked it up. And so what happened is that Cash picked it up so good is that Jazzy Jeff lived on Rodman Street, I think.
Yeah, on Rodman. He lived on Rodman.
Right. And that wasn't too far away from my house. So Cash used to ride his bike right after rehearsal. He'd come from my rehearsal. This is like a few years of me teaching him, right? So he didn't got confident now, that I can sound good. You know what I mean? So he used to go over Jeff house. By then, Jeff had 12s or whatever, the newest turntables. So he's the one to go over Jeff house and show off. So while he's showing off to Jeff, him and Jeff became a group. And I made up a name called the Twins of Spin. And how I made that name up because the way I used to teach Cash Money was I used to get on the turntables and I'll be like, yeah, mix like this. As soon as I spin off, you get on. And that's what I call the Twins of Spin. And that's basically what the executioners and all them doing now. That two DJ thing, spin on, spin off and all that. That's what they call the Twins of Spin that I made up for me and Cash to do at a show. And he showed it to Jazzy Jeff. Matter of fact, every time that I showed him something, he would ride his bike and him and Jeff would perform it. So what happened is that they start doing the shows and people start seeing them and like calling them the Twins of Spin and, and they start getting a lot of shows and they start getting record deals. Each one of them got a record deal. First, I think Jeff got his record deal. Yeah. That's when Will came up to me and asked me to use that record. Just one of those days, and just not your day. So when he got his record deal, and Cash got a record deal that pumped me up, the dude pumped me up for Trouble Funk, right? So each one of them start doing their own stuff, and then both of them entered the DMC. And, using my, style and all that, they won. Each one of them won. And then they just nobody couldn't really touch what they was doing because it was it was so advanced that what they was doing. It was so advanced what they was doing that they wouldn't even let people from Philly enter the DMC contest. They said it was unfair to the rest of the world because the stuff we're using is so advanced. I don't know if y'all ever heard when they shut it down on Philly. Y'all ever hear about that? The DMC said no more Philly people. Because Philly was winning so much with my style. Because everybody wasn't using my style. Because everybody that used it lived around the corner from me. Miz, Tap Money, all of them. You know, they live right around the corner. So they all got my tapes. You know, they practicing their ass off with my tapes. So they all learned my stuff, and they went into the DMC and won. And DMC was like, no, we can't have that no more. Y'all out. So that was the last time. I think Miz maybe was the last one that won something from Philly. Because Ghetto, all of them was using it. So after the DMC, you know, we got kicked out of the DMC. Y'all know the story for them with Cash. You know, they joined the record company, Sleeping Bag Records, and Cash and Marv start making albums. Then Jeff and Will still kept making albums, winning Grammys. You know, and they just excelled from that. You know, from those lessons that I gave them. So from then on, I think I kept dancing, and let's see, what else did I do after? I'm just trying to keep it all on the same wavelength. I kept dancing, making my clothes, and being on the radio station. And then later on, I you know, grew up and I started doing shows with different other groups. Now, I'm gonna go all the way to a lot of people. I don't know if y'all know Mikey D. Mikey D. Mikey D is the guy that taught LL Cool J. Him and LL used to be there. Mikey D's from Main Source. All right. He had a lot of records. Mikey Destruction. They used to be called the
LA Posse, was it?
LA Posse. And it was another group he had. He had a lot of records out. So, you know, I met him through this guy named Mike Miller, DJ Mercury in New York. Because I came to New York to to live. So Mercury took me to the studio, and Mikey D was doing an album called Sudden Destruction. And I was in a waiting room, and I had my computer, and you know, I was making beats at the time. So after Mike came out the studio, Mikey D came out the studio, he heard the beat I was making, was like, yo, I love that beat, man. Can I have that to do this song? So I'm like, yeah. So he took the beat into the studio, and we went in there, and Mercury did some cuts on it, and Mike went in there. It was like a one-time thing. I made the beat up, they recorded it, he played it for Mike, and he recorded Mike at that time, and the song was called, oh man, oh my God, you'll kill me.
I can't think. Y'all done a video for that too, didn't y'all?
Yeah, we did a video in Philly.
Right.
And oh my God, how you forget long song? I ain't saying. I mean, we ain't doing it so long, but
the joint under the L, right?
Yeah.
Dang, and I'm still waiting on my shirt.
Yeah. Well, he did the song, and you know, it became a hit. You know, we started doing a lot of shows, and our name of our group was called the Elements of Hip Hop. All right, and we did a lot of shows. I met a lot of stars, and from me meeting all these stars, you know, I started doing more shows. I started doing shows with Curtis Blow, Cool Mo D, The Treacherous, all the people that I admired. I was doing shows with. So I done met everybody, Maestro, you know, Funky Four. I done met everybody, and I did shows with Crash Crew. So that's what I'm basically doing now. I'm still doing old school reunion shows. The last show I did was T-Ski Valley. There was so many people. Theodore, I did a lot of shows with Grand with the Theodore, Cold Crush, Tony Crush, shout out to him. I gotta tell you a story about my boy Tony Crush. Now, Tony Crush is the dude that started the Cold Crush. I'm in the park in Philly one day. Something said, no, I'm gonna tell you before. I'm at my boy Dade's house. All right, you know Dade, right?
Right.
All right, now, no, Dade. You know, Jeff know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, my other teacher.
Right, Dade. I'm at Dade house. So I'm saying, yo, man, let's go to the park. So Dade and I'm like, no, man, I don't feel like going to the park right now. So I said, yo, can somebody drive me to the park? I just feel like going to the park. So one of the dudes drove me to the park. He had this white truck. So he drove me to the park. So they was having a DJ equipment day or some stuff like that where they selling equipment. So I walk down there, get out the truck, and I see Tony Crush from the Cold Crush. And he got his equipment all up. He got stacks of equipment that he's selling. And I'm like, yo, what's up? How you doing? So he said, Rasheen, how you been, man? Good to see you. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm playing around. I said, yo, how much is that stack right there? He said, what, you like that stack right there? I said, yeah, I like that. He said, yo, it's yours. Take it. My eyes opened wide. I said, what? He said, no, take it. He gave me like what's it? 1, 2, 3, 6 speakers, stacked speakers with the bass and all that stuff and the horns. He just gave it to me. He said, you got a truck? And I'm like, I just so happen to have a truck. So I rode over there with my truck that the dude drove me up, and everything fitted right in the truck. So it was like it was meant for me to go up there that day to get the equipment from Tony Crush. They were just waiting for me to come get, like, you know, it was a plan or something. So that's why I give, you know, shouts out to Tony Crush for giving me that equipment out of the blue. You know, he didn't even know me that good, but he heard of me, and he said, I'm going to get it to you because you Grand Wizard Rasheen. So, I'm blessed, that he did that for me. And like I said, I met a lot of stars, and all of them been great. They're wonderful. I used to think that, I go to New York and they'd be like, oh, man, fuck Philly. You know what I mean? We don't hear that Philly shit. So, I was proven wrong because they, all of them, from Jazzy J, from the Cold Crush, the Fantastic Five, all of them was great. They give Philly much respect. And the rest of the world be giving Philly much respect, but Philly, I don't think they know that, that we really like the DJ capital of the world. The world look up to us in DJing, the whole world. So, I just hope Philly noticed that, but that's one of the things like I'm doing. Plus, I'm teaching DJing right now. You know what I mean? I'm teaching, classes. Anybody want to learn? I'll teach you. You want to be better than Jeff and Cash? Because I'm not going to teach you to be like them. I'm going to teach you to be better. So, I'll leave you my number and all that stuff and get in touch with me later. And I also am doing like a TV show. I've been doing TV shows. I do a lot of graphics, design. I do animation. I make the people, for the games. I make the people for the games and stuff like that. So I do a lot of different stuff that I'm into now. So y'all, have any more questions you want to ask me? But I just wanted to give you like a basis of how I got to where I'm at.
All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Square now from this point on.
Hello?
Square now, unmute yourself.
All right, there you go. That was definitely, I'm telling you, man, I was sitting here taking some notes and I was like, wow. You just really dropped some knowledge on us, dropped some, as they say back in the day when I was growing up in New York, they'd be like, he kicked the ballistics on that one. But well, since you mentioned it, just the latest information, what TV show, what you said you were doing a TV show or something like that?
Well, I had when I was in New York, I was on a lot of cable stations. So I was on a couple stations, and my TV show was called G Wiz DJTV.
Don't forget Ronnie with TV show.
Yeah, well, me and Ron show, I forgot about that. It was called Franchise Live. That's still on. You know, it's called
Okay.
That was called Franchise Live in Philly. You know, we was the first video show in Philly, kind of, you know, with the videos and all that. So Ron still got that going, while I got my other one up here, you know, going. And I'm trying to get a couple Root Crew stations, you know, and it's still going to be called DJTV, G-Way DJTV. And I did a radio show up in Connecticut with WSME. My boy, you know, Stephen Grand with the Stevie D. And while I was up here for like a month, you know, they awarded me with being the what you call it, Black Radio Award, because they recognize, you know, me being a radio DJ, you know, being the first pioneer playing hip hop on the radio in Philly and teaching Cass and Jeff, and being the first to turn my table to the side, well, creating battle style, and along with the cuts and the, you know, the whole thing. So they gave me an award for that in New York, and they gave me an award for that in Connecticut, New Haven. And also they're going to put me in the Hip Hop Museum. And also I'm helping my man Al Pizarro, that's with the Hip Hop Boulevard in New York. You know, I'm part of his committee. You know, I do a lot of shows with them too, and help them out with whatever they need. Shout outs going out to them too. So, like I said, that's basically what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm still doing my shows. I'm still doing my tricks. Y'all know me. I'm trick man. I love doing that. At the age of 59 going on 60, because my birthday is June the 5th.
Yes, indeed. I was sitting back and I was thinking, the can you remember like the very, very first time that there was that thing, you know, like you say, you were dancing, you were getting into then you started seeing the DJs do it, but like that very first time, what was that first song or that first thing that made you say, you know what, I have to get out here and get with a crew to dance? What was that song? What was that song that made you do that?
Oh man, Love the Life You Live by Black Heat. All right.
The life you live.
It was Love the Life You Live, and then the next one was Let's Dance to the Drummer Beat. There was a few of them. I remember all of them, because there was a lot of songs that we used to, you know, we could. James Brown called I Can't Stand It. You know what I mean? There was all the stuff that, you know, we did breaks on. Now, what happened, before I started hearing those tapes, I had a boom box. I didn't even know about scratching at the time. This was, like I said, this was in 1976. I had a boom box and I was dancing, and I wanted, when we used to come out, they used to play the James Brown break. Oh, can't stand it, right? And they had that beat. But we had a lot of people in our group, and everybody wanted to dance off the break beat part. So what I did, I pause button the break beats back then. That's how I first got into DJing. I was a pause button king. And then from me being a pause button king, after I got the tapes from Theodore and flashing them, that's when I had to get turntables after that. So I was mixing, like I said, I was mixing since 76, even without turntables. So
Wow.
that's how far that go back. And the Dance to Drum Beat, Love the Life You Live, KG's theme song, Mass Production, Just Want to Make a Dream Come True. So all the stepping stuff we used to step on. So, and then my first record, Cutting Up, was Good Times, you know, and
I love Cutting Good Times.
And Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom. Get Up and Dance. You know what I mean? Come on, get down, bounce, rock, roll, skate, all that.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff that I heard. Yeah, look, all the stuff that I heard Theodore mix was the shit that I got. That's what I went and found. I became breakbeat king. Me and my boy Ray. We used to go to New York. We used to go to thrift shops just to find our beats. That was just our thing. We used beat hunting. Wake up and go to the store all day long just to find 2 records that had beats.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the other question I have for you is, back then, in remembering how you came up and fast forwarding to today in terms of the culture, and I know you've seen the culture just evolve. There's a big difference, of course. What are your current thoughts on how the culture is today?
Well, like you said, since I've seen it evolved, I know why it evolved and who did it. From the time I started till like the end of the 90s. By the year 2000, the whole rap game changed, right? The whole hip hop thing changed. It stopped being hip hop and started being rap. The rappers took over. Where first it was a whole group thing with the DJ controlling it. Once DAT machines and stuff like that came out, they was like, well, we don't need your DJing. You know what I mean? I can take the tape right here and get a microphone, and that's what started happening, after the 2000s and, stuff like that. People start doing their own stuff. You start losing the shows. People just start walking around with mics, and, it just became less performance. It was more performing and showmanship back then. Right now, the young boys, they got their own thing because truthfully, nobody is teaching them or taught them or schooled them any type of way. They just doing their own little, you know what I mean? That's got a lot of mumble rap, got a lot of stuff like that. And if you notice, our beat range is from 70, no. Matter of fact, our dance beat, that's slow drag records in the 70s, but our dance beats start at around about 80 to 135 beat per minute, all right? That's our range, what we dance to. The young boys dance to 70 and below. And 135 and above. They don't even, that's why they can't understand what we're doing. They're not in the same groove length. You understand? If you look at their beats are so faster than ours or so slower than ours. They stuff in that 70s, that's slow drag records, what we used to listen to. The slow drag records from 70 and down. So they either doubled the beat, and that's why they get that or sounds like that with the bass. So that's the difference between their groove and our groove. And if you try to get them to rap off our beat, they can't do it because they're not in our groove. And we don't like their groove because we can't dance off their groove.
Right.
Because it's not in that 70. It's not in the 80 to 135 range, which we used to groove on.
Right.
So that's the only difference between, their stuff and our stuff and what they're saying. Even though like we was talking about, the girls such and such, boastful stuff and, happy stuff, and then it later on became about we selling drugs and, and doing that, once the crack era came. And then once the crack era passed, now we got the crack kids saying about they using drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difference in the society. They went from selling to using to and then the way society is, all the TV and the negative imaging and all that, they're kind of confused right now. You know what I mean? So they still need a lot of help from us old heads. You know what I mean? That's, if us old heads take time to teach them, they'll respect us more. They
Yeah,
don't have nobody to look up to.
I was just about to tie into that question and say, if there was one thing that you could recommend to the OGs and the ones that are out here, like myself, I've been doing this for 36 years, you know, and you've been in a whole lot longer than that. Rod Flash, the same, you know, Genius, the same. We got DJ Storm on here, DJ Joe Storm. You know, he's a veteran as well. In terms of that, what is that one thing that you would talk to the OGs and say, look, in order to get this thing flipped back around, because you know everything goes in a cycle.
Yes.
What is it that we can do to get these younger folks or get these people? Because it's just we did have a conversation in the group where each era, the previous generation, they pretty much didn't like our music. Like our moms and dads, we'd be playing, they'd be like, turn that mess off, turn that mess off. But then you had those crossover records where the DJ we would be playing something that had a break beat from James Brown,
Right.
or something like that, and your mom or pops would and say, boy, come here and play that thing again.
All right. Well, just what you just said is what we got to do. We got to take, all right, since remember how I said about the range? We're dancing, since we're dancing in 80 to 135, we take those same beats and put them in their groove. You understand what I'm saying? You take the same way you making your records, the same old sounds with the James Brown and all that stuff, and put it into their groove. If you put it into their groove, they can understand it then.
Makes perfect sense.
Right.
Now, Joe Storm, I know he unmuted himself, so I take it he has a question for you.
Yeah.
So, Joe?
Brother, first of all, it's an honor to meet you, man. Definitely an honor to talk to you.
All right, thank you. You too.
I like to always talk to the legends, you know, of the people that pioneered this game. You know, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I was listening to what you were saying about the beat range from the 80 to 135. You know, we actually, you know, were big on the disco, which later on become the house music, Baltimore.
Right.
You know, we big on those numbers, and even now to this day, you know, a lot of the kids that grew up, you know, their parents and went to the clubs here, you know, they know, you know, about that 80 to 135 beat range.
Yeah.
And I feel what you're saying, as far as, you know, we need to infuse the old with the new.
Just like we did with their record, you know, like I'm saying, just like we did with our parents' records. That's
Right.
our stuff. So
now let me ask you this: do you think, as far as DJs, do you think that they at least need to know a little bit of music theory when it comes to, you know, understanding song structure, you know, beat count?
yes, because who's going to teach it to them?
Okay.
Who's going to teach it to them?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? If nobody don't teach it to them, they just going to come out and do their own little verses and rap without any type of breaks or anything. They just rapping.
Yeah.
Some just talking. They ain't even on beat. They talking. They letting the beat catch up to their voice. You know what I'm saying? And that's because they don't know nothing about tapping your feet and getting into the groove of the record. You know what I mean? Once they get tapped, you know, once you get into the groove of the record, you can flow with the record. No matter what you're saying, it will flow with the record. As long as you in that groove with the record. So that's what they got to do. You know, they got to, like you said, they got to learn. Somebody got to teach them this, though. Us old heads are not teaching nothing to them.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think another thing that got me about you, brother, was you were a dancer before you were a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, I've learned that, like, even, you know, in my years, you know, I haven't DJed as long as, you know, you or even like Square Now. You know, I've probably about, since I've been DJing since I was about probably 8, 9 years old. I'm 37 now.
Okay. All right.
But basically, you know, what I've learned from just watching is that the dancer, you know, people that can dance, and I ain't really talking about a lot of today's generation, because if you watch a lot of today's generation, it's like you can't really catch their vibe or their groove, because, you know, a lot of times they standing still versus, you know, a person that's like 35, 40 and over, 50 and over, you know, they dance into a lot of those, you know, those classic records. You know, even joints that's kind of like grown up, they dance into those, and you're able to feed off of them because you're seeing, you know, the vibe of what they doing, and and they lead you, you know. So that's one thing. That's one major thing that captured me about you, is that, you know, you said you were a dancer before you were a DJ.
Yeah, and then I was playing instruments before that.
Oh man, that's deep.
I was in, you know, I was in a, I told you, my mom bought me the bongos. So I was a drummer before anything.
Okay.
A percussionist.
Wow.
So once I became a percussionist, then I started dancing. I would start beating on the cars, and then, you know, after beating on the cars, I was like, all right, well, started dance because everybody was dancing at the time. Whatever was happening in the neighborhood, I wanted to do. I was a real active guy, you know what I mean? I wanted to do everything. I wanted to rap and mix at the same time, and I did it. Nobody told me I couldn't do it, so I did it. You know what I mean? And that's why my group was always, you couldn't just dance in my group. You had to, if you had to dance, you had to have 100 steps. You couldn't just come in and just do no one dance. We would make you dance off the whole 15 minutes of the record. That was your. Wow. That's how you had to get in that group. If you did the same steps within those 15 minutes, you couldn't be in that group.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, they were worn out by the time that song was done. 15 minutes, bro.
Oh yeah, they was burned up.
You know, we had long disco records, man.
Yeah, man. I remember them joints back in the day. I was like, boy, you can literally just take you a good bathroom break if you wanted to. If you let the record breathe, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So you had to do that. You know, we wanted multi-talented people in our group.
Yeah, you know, and I think what, you know, with Joe Storm mentioning that about you dancing, you know, prior to, and then with the, you know, you being a percussionist prior to that, and then getting into DJing, it just shows how the culture was slowly but surely intertwining itself in the fabric of who you are as an individual, you know, and how it really got into you more and more and more until you were metamorphosized into to the grand wizard, grand wizard,
Yeah.
you know, Rasheen, you know what I'm saying? And that just goes to show that the culture can have impact, and it can be effective in a very positive way on top of that, you know, because of course, with like anything else, you're gonna, when you turn to media or if you turn to any of those types of outlets, they never point out the good that the culture has done, but always the negative to the culture. You know what I mean?
And also, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Look, also what I want to remember, at that time in the 70s, it was nothing but gang wars. There was a whole lot of gangs, especially in Southwest Philly. All right? So you got to imagine trying to go to block parties in all these gangs. You know what I mean? So we fought a lot of people. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Just because they were jealous, because we had on, I made all these nice suits for our group. So, you know, 7 or 8 niggas get out the car, dressed the same and fly, and then get out and the girls chase us off the block because we look so nice. You know what I mean? Then the guys get jealous. I remember, look, I'm gonna tell you a story. Up there where Schoolie D live at, on the park side, right? They used to have this place called the Capitol Movie. So, and they used to have block parties on that block. So, you know, we from Southwest, so they was called Parkside. So you had to go through, it was a gang called the Moon, it was so many gangs from where we live at till their neighborhood. They lived all the way to the park. And their place was like Northwest Philly or West Philly, something like that. So everybody, you know, at that time, you know, they scared to go to other neighborhoods, but we used to dance. So we went to everybody's neighborhood and challenged them. And besides that, we had at least, Ron was from another part, which was another gang. Then we had like 3 or 4 other people that was with us from different parts of Southwest, and they was from different gangs. So our group was like 5, 6 gangs in one. You understand what I mean? Just from the people that we had in it. And now we go into other neighborhoods, you know, battle with people. And what happened is that when we start battling, we were so bad they couldn't beat us. They had to join us. They want, you know what I mean?
Right.
They were like, yo, y'all, they couldn't do nothing with us. So they was like, yo, can we join y'all group? Because we was real wild, you know, we was real fat. So stepping back then, everybody used to do it nice and smooth. Well, me and my group changed that. We speeded everything up. If you ever watch one of me dance, you watch Philly dance and then you watch my group dance. We're doing the same steps, but it's at least 5 or 6 times faster than everybody else.
Gotcha. I know we got DJ Genius on here. He's been a little quiet. You got any questions, Genius?
Yeah, first off, salute.
All right,
you know
brother.
what I'm saying? Quick story of why I'm saluting you first. I started young as well, you know, in the 70s. I'm a 70s baby. And I broke my right hand. And because of you, you know, it helped me to become ambidextrous. I got a lot of family that's in Philly. And the way you actually set up your turntables, you know, made me use my other hand.
All right,
you know what I'm saying? So first, salute for that. And it also helped with speed. I salute you for, you know, helping the culture. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important that we give people their flowers while they're still here.
Yeah,
you know
that's,
what I mean?
that's great,
So
man. Thank you.
Thank you for all of your achievements and accolades. We actually know a lot of people, you know, mutually. Like you mentioned, Theodore, you know, great dude, great homie and mentor. You know what I'm saying? Kaz as well.
Yeah.
You know, another one, and all humble people that you can easily walk up to, talk to, and if you're willing to listen, will give you a wealth of knowledge and information. You know what I'm saying?
Gave it to me.
And I definitely appreciate that. I grew up inspired by people like yourself and even the people you taught. So I thank you. So for me, it's not more or less a question, but a homage. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Definitely, bro. You know, I'm just glad that, you know, a lot of people finally kind of recognizing who I am. Because, you know, I'm quite kind of like a quiet riot. A lot of people don't know me because I'm so quiet. You know what I mean? So I only talk like when you ask me. You don't ask me, I don't say nothing.
Yeah,
well, I'm glad.
Go ahead.
Remember you taught me how to mix properly.
Yeah.
I used to cut on some slow records.
yeah. Jeff used to get it in. He had the slow records going at 145 a minute. He just bad. I was like, dang, but he's a mix him though. He's be mixing the job. He's mixing at the club. He's a crack up. So, you know, I had a lot of good time with Jeff.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, and one time, remember I invented I invented a way to DJ without being there.
Yep.
Remember that? All right. What happened is that I invented this thing with VCR tapes was out at the time, right? So,
and I still got mine.
Look, so what I did, I used to get 8-hour VCR tapes and record the music on it. I record my whole party on it for 8 hours. And then I go to the club, plug my VCR up to the speakers, and the party is on for 8 hours. And I used to leave the club and go to another club and leave Jeff and them in there to watch everything. And that's how Jeff became DJing there at the club. We watched the rock stuff because I left. I left and went to like 3 other different clubs. And then I come back. I came back to the club and the boss, Benty, he'd be like, yo, I'm paying you, man, but you don't be here. I said, the music didn't stop, did it? He said, no, the people, when I come in, the people still party. They don't know it's a tape. People still party.
Then he asked for African music.
Oh, yeah. He's asked for African. Like the party be jumping, because he had a couple African friends, so the party be jumping. He'd be like, yo, my people here, play some African music right now. And, people be like going to John talking about, we've come here to knock some blues. They be into it, right? So he would put his finger on the record and go, play it now. He'll stop the music like, right in the middle of the party.
That's a true story.
Look, he'll stop it right in the middle of the party. And then he be like, if nobody don't like my African music, get out. And he kick everybody out.
Yep.
Because they don't play his African music. I don't care. And it'll be him and his two partying all night long on African music.
Hey, remember the one time he owed us money, so we kicked in the cigarette machine.
I ain't never do nothing wrong in my life. You did it.
I learned everything from you. And that's when we turned it into the strip club.
No, on a serious question.
I was going to
Rasheen, do you feel that you get your respect here in Philadelphia?
Truthfully, no, because I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't think that the people that I showed and the people that know me is speaking up about me. And there's a lot of people that know me but ain't saying nothing. And like as it is right now, as far as they don't even want people to know that I showed them or they got their stuff on me. Truthfully, right now they want to take what I did and say they did it. They want to take my cuts and give names to them and said they made them up.
I remember Cash was talking about that not too long ago.
You know what I mean? I'm just telling the truth, right? I'm around 60, so I'm like old and grumpy and I don't care no more. So I'm telling.
I got a question I never asked you. How you came up with the name Rasheen?
The same time I came up with Grand Wizard, because at the time it was a lot of, remember in the 70s, it was a lot of Muslims that people had a lot of Muslim names at the time, right? So I'm David Roberts. So when I thought of Grand Wizard, I want to be Grand Wizard. I'm like, well, I can't be Grand Wizard David, right?
Right.
So I had a guy on the block named Rasheen, because he was a Muslim and all that. So I was like, I like that name. I'm gonna be Grand Wizard Rasheen, and ever since then, I was Grand Wizard Rasheen. Like, bam, I'm here.
Hey, real quick, hey, Rasheen, tell them how we met. They gonna laugh.
Oh, all right. It was the time I was married, and I was about to get a divorce. So I moved up Germantown with my boy Space on Gorgas Lane. And I was doing music and he was cutting hair. And I was making beats up and all that. So one day, this guy named Grizzly, that was Dave and Jeff manager. He came up, I guess he heard my beats and was like, yo, I want to hook you up with, and he heard me cuts. And so like, I want to hook you up, with these guys I know. And he gave me the address and I went looking for him. And I didn't know the address, the right name. So I hollered out on the street. I said, yo, where the DJ of the block live at?
He knocked on my door, asked my mom, was like, do the DJ live here?
Yeah, I found him though, right? So I found him.
You had Sporty Shorty with you that night. You that party.
And yeah, Sporty Shorty. I know Sporty Shorty. She was like the first girl DJ that we taught.
Right.
I taught.
I remember that night because the floor collapsed.
Yeah, yup. So there's
That's
a
all
lot of
right.
stories, man.
Well,
You know,
I know we definitely appreciate it. Now, what's on the books for you? What you got coming up? And
uh,
are you doing anything virtual in terms of your DJing or any of the shows or anything like that? But what do you
well,
have coming up?
before all this virus stuff, you know, like I said, I'm doing a lot of stuff with Hip Hop Boulevard. So, you know, they're giving shows all over. They're giving awards out. You know, I'm part of the award team to give out awards. So, and plus, like I said, I'm part of the Hip Hop Museum in New York.
Hmm.
So, you know, I'll be doing shows there, doing tours with Hip Hop Museum and tours with the Hip Hop Boulevard. So that's basically what I'm doing now, plus teaching. Like I said, DJing, and I might try to do some virtual teaching, maybe, but you know what I mean? That might what we have to do if you know this thing still be kicking up. But I'm
Yeah.
available for everything. Like I said, I don't just DJ, I do so many things. I'm in the television, I build radio stations, I build TV stations, I sell them. You know what I mean? Anybody want a TV station, radio station, I can hook you up.
He does
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I bought one from him.
You know what I'm saying? I'm FCC's most wanted. I was always FCC from the age of 16. I was FCC's most wanted.
Gotcha.
I ain't even get to tell you about those stories. That's a whole different show.
They shut me
Yeah.
down even
Yeah,
before I even started.
About
Now,
Rasheen radio days.
Yep.
We
Then
were chased by the FCC.
I still got the antenna on the roof.
Yeah.
in your like you mentioned about the hip hop museum, and during the tours and stuff like that. I know when you and I had a conversation, you said that you were. Are you still doing anything? I know you guys are doing some shows, but it's like you guys still doing anything with, like you said, mentioned something about Curtis Blow and a few others. And
Yeah.
are you guys planning? I know with this pandemic going on, it's a little bit harder to do anything right now, but
Yeah.
have you guys thought about, in that sense, doing anything virtually, but also are you guys in stages of planning so that when all this does kind of settle and we know something and we can manage it 100% for sure, of tours that may be coming up or any type of shows and, around the country, or if people wanted to catch Grand Wizard Rasheen once you do start back, what would be the main hub of where we would see you performing the most?
It will probably be Hip Hop Boulevard, because they're going to be doing like the most shows, and concerts, and also the Hip Hop Museum. But
Okay.
like if they want to be virtually, I'll be trying to do, I'll post my stuff on my Facebook page, which are, David Rasheen, or you can go to my, Gmail. If you ever want me to do a party or wedding, or you need graphics, or you need animation done, you can get at me at two websites, gwizDJTV@gmail.com or DJRasheen0@gmail.com. All right.
All right.
So you can contact me at those two places. And
I got
give
DJ Rasheen 0
DJ Rasheen 0
gmail.com.
at gmail.com, and
And
also GWiz DJTV at gmail.com.
at gmail.com. Okay, I got both of those.
Yeah.
All right.
And one last question. I don't know if
You
anybody
still doing
asked
the
this.
radio show on Facebook where you doing the interviews?
Yo, I forgot about that. I had a show doing a radio show called Hip Hop Starship.
Right.
Now I'm doing all the interviews with all the old school legends. So I'm still doing that, but I haven't did it in a while because of this thing. Yeah. So I haven't did it in a while, but I got a lot of interviews coming up.
But that would be good for now because you could do it like we doing through Zoom, where you could hit them up and y'all can do it virtually also, if that's something you want to think about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be better.
So what was that? Was that an internet radio station that you were doing that on, or did I lose you?
I hear you.
That was Steve Grand Wizard Stevie Day. WSMA with Grand Wizard Stevie Day.
Okay.
You know, it's called SM Enlightenment Radio. They got a website, so you can go to that website and see all the stuff. Or I got everything on YouTube. If you type in Grand Wizard Rasheen Hip Hop Starship, I got all the shows from Dimples D to the Cold Crush to oh man, it's what you call it, Jam on It, Cosmo D.
Cosmo D.
I got so many people. The Force MDs. I got Cool Cow Star Child. Let me see who else. I said Dimples D. I got Yvette Money. I have the dude saying I drink old gold. Mr. X and Mr. V. I got him. I got
What's going on, fellas?
yeah. So I got all those people coming up, and I got a lot of Philly artists coming up too.
And what about the live concert?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the work.
What you like them?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, that's good.
I mean, since everybody in the house and a lot of people, well, I know a lot of them, but a lot of people don't. So that gives people a visual of the song that they heard on the video.
Like the other day, he showed old Public Enemy one.
Oh yeah.
With DMX.
Yeah. So I try to do that, and then I try to do remixes videos. Y'all probably heard some of them where I'll make a beat, and then I'll remix the whole song and add the video to it. So I got a lot of them on there too. If you go to if you YouTube Grand Wizard Rasheen, you'll find all those shows and remixes on that, or just on my page. Yeah,
we would definitely post some links on that for sure, just so that people learn more about who you are and all the things that you've done, and really understand that you are definitely a pioneer in the game. So we'll definitely make sure we do that.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Appreciate that. Yeah, man.
Hey, Sheen.
Yes.
Question. How come you never tried for the DMC, or you never wanted to?
At the time, I wasn't interested in all that. At the time, I was still dancing and doing other stuff. It didn't interest me at the time. Besides, I wasn't. Nobody would battle me anyway.
Because you definitely would have won it.
Yeah, nobody at the time. Matter of fact, I never even had a battle. The only battle I had was a fake battle with Grandmaster Nell, because we were trying to get some money.
I remember that.
You know what I mean? We was at Great Skate. You know what I mean? We was like, all right, everybody wants to see us battle. We was on the radio station at the time. So me and Grandmaster Nell was like, all right, well, since they want to see us battle, we're going to have 3 battles, and you win one, I win one, and then we have a real one. Grandmaster Nell will tell you about this one day. So the first battle he was supposed to win, we were at Great Skate. So, all right, he won the battle. We set up so he could win it. So at that time, you got to remember, South Philly and Southwest Philly was going at each other. And everybody from South Philly, once Nell won that first one, Nell, when it was time for the second one, Nell quit. He said, no, I quit. Because he wanted to keep the title. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
He wanted to keep that title. Because I think he had Caesar with him and Robbie B and people like that with him. Right? I was by myself. And
was you part of the New York Philly battle?
Yeah. But matter of fact, that back then I was with a group called I told you earlier, I was with this photographer called Fred Carter, and he owned this company called Free and Easy. We the ones that gave one of those shows, like the Philly versus New York at that time. So I was part of it, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
but I didn't get in it, but I was part of it.
Oh, okay.
Because we
See,
was
I
one.
don't think I knew you then.
Yeah, you didn't know me. A lot of people didn't know who I was. I was doing a lot of stuff at that time. I was making beats. I was dancing. I was just doing a lot of stuff.
You see, Rasheen, you would think he's a nerd. You wouldn't think he do what everything that he does.
Well, that's all right. Hey, it's all in.
And then I don't boast about it, so no. Like I said, I
Right.
don't say nothing about it unless you ask me.
And I think that hurts you a little, but at the end of the day, you are who you are. But sometimes you need to let your story be heard because somebody else tell them they done this and they done that, and you know deep down inside what you done.
Right.
Right.
I totally agree with
And he
that.
never brags. That's the thing about it. That's what made me and him so cool through the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that, when you have done some of the things that you have done, you definitely just do, and your story needs to be heard, and people need to know who you are, which is one of the things why me and Flash, when we got to talking about you, I was like, and I started doing research. I was like, I wonder if we could try to get you on so that we can definitely have you share it yourself, because I believe in, when it comes to these different things, there's nothing like the person themselves. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised.
I can talk about it. Genius can talk about it. Flash can talk about it. Big Time can talk about it. But it's nothing like having that first person instead of it being second removed. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
It's a good thing I still had his number.
yeah. When it comes from you, we know that you're gonna tell us, you're gonna let us know what's up, and then we can. And it's one of them things where that from that point it ain't gonna be like, well, DJ Square Knot said. We could just say, Grand Wizard Rasheen, this is what he said, and he was very humble with it. And let me tell you, man, your spirit, your everything that from the first conversation we had to right now is still the same. You are cool. You're relaxed. I can tell that you're sincere about what you're talking about, and I can also hear the passion that you have about the culture and everything that you've done. And the other piece to it too is where you mentioned, people that you've taught. Even in you speaking about that, you were humble about that. You weren't like, you know what I mean? And whereas to some of those other people, are like, nah, I did this and I did this and I did this, and I'm like, where does it stop? When you got someone that's truly humble and truly just putting it all out there, hey, and like you said, you 60 years old, you have stepped into the grumpy old man stage. You're like, you telling everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, that's 100 right there. You know what I mean? And that makes perfect sense, and that's much respect to you for real, man.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate that.
We definitely appreciate that, and it's truly an honor to be able to have you on and to be able to share your story with us and to learn more. Because like I was talking to you when you were talking about the turntable situation, I said, man, I was 7 years old when you had turned your turntable that way. And I said, and it was another almost 6-7 years before I myself became a DJ, and because I put in like 2 years. I started at like 12, carrying crates of records for other DJ crews just so that I could be down.
Yeah.
And then and soon enough, they was like, get on up here, little man, scratch this beat. And I remember, and like I told the DJ Information Group, why I played this song every time I am doing break beats. And that song is Impeach the President, because my very first chance at the Wheels of Steel was when one of the DJs say, get up here, I'm going to start this, and you're going to take it over. And that's kind of like what you were talking about with the twin
spin.
Yeah, twin spins, where he started it out, and I watched him, and he said, now take it. And I took it, and I just did baby scratches, but I carried it. I carried it, and they were like, you're good now. This is your first step. So until this day, and I'm 50 now.
Right.
And I remember back then I was 13, because at 14, my crew, we had formed and we had gotten our own for our first set of equipment. I did that at 13, and I'm 50 years old now, man. So definitely, and that's the part that gets me, about the culture, how it's just ingrained in our fabric of who we are and how we're able to just be happy and excited and passionate about those particular moments and bring them forward to share, you know. So much love to you, man. Much love to you.
Yeah, man, much love to y'all brothers too, man, for, you
You
know,
too,
having
bro.
me on the station, you know, and I respect y'all for that, you know. I appreciate
When
y'all,
the
you
next,
know,
Yes, yes.
when the next
So
time you in Philly?
when it's over.
So,
when
uh,
when
so,
when
so
when
you
it's
know,
safe.
so you know the first stop is my crib.
Yeah, definitely,
well,
man.
The old stomping grounds.
Like I said, man, if people need me, you know, you just call me. I'm down to do shows and whatever.
cool,
You know what I'm
cool.
saying?
Well,
Can
if
we?
you're ever in
So
North
you know,
Carolina,
Rob,
man, you're ever in this way,
I'll probably pull you in for a good spot. At the spot I'm going to be at.
Hey,
This spot in Frankfurt.
ain't no thing for a small fee. I can set him free.
I hear that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, and if you're ever in
Shoot.
North Carolina, man, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to shout out. You got my number, everything, and you know we will stay in touch, man. And you know, and not only am I a DJ, I'm a hell of a grill master. So
All
if
right.
if
I
you like
think
to
I'm
eat,
coming down too.
you know, we can get on the grill, sit back, have some brewskis and some good food, chop it up,
Yeah,
and play some music and
If you
all,
got,
man. So yeah,
yeah, that's work.
hey Square,
yo,
if you got teleport, hey Square, if you got teleport there, I'm there.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Where are you, big time?
Philly.
Oh, you're in Philly. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. And Rod Flash, man, that's my man, 100 grand, man. I mean, we are connected. We've never met physically, but through the group, we've been on so many Zooms together and just really chopped it up that we brothers, man. It's just really
Right.
amazing and just
I,
how, you know, this
I
has
want to tell a
allowed us to
story
really
real
connect.
quick. How me and Flash met. We used to work together. How long ago, Flash? Like 30 years ago.
Over 30. My daughter is 30, so it had to be over 30.
So the University of Pennsylvania. I forget actually
The internet.
how we met. One of the waiters we both was cool with, and we was talking about DJing. He said, and he brought up his name. He introduced us. We've been tight since.
Yeah, hey,
Hey,
And he
that's
was,
that's how it goes, man. You know,
yeah.
when you meet a good,
Flash toured. He toured me. He toured besides Rasheen. Flash
Mhm.
is my second go-to guy when I need questions, and he tell you I ask him questions all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's good to be able to have someone that you can go to and ask those questions,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
you know, and be able to
So
get some good info. You know what I mean? Because you know we need that because
right.
you know all of us we have to understand that we don't know everything, and it's
Yep.
good to be able.
What
And even when
just
you
like
do have some things, it's good to have that second person to kind of either validate it
right that you
or help you
actually
build on
trust.
it. Yes, that you trust. Yes,
Because I
indeed.
remember the one time I was in the jam. What was that party? I think my speakers blew or something. And I got you and Rasheen to do the recreation center with me.
Damn, that was, I forgot. I remember it though.
I forgot. Yeah.
I had my mom and my mom and my aunt wound up coming down.
I hear you,
Yeah.
man.
Rasheen probably don't remember that.
Yeah.
Because I
It was
think we
so
had
many.
Well, let's.
we did something. I think that was the first time I actually all three of us did something together though.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We
Yeah.
did so many parties. I didn't forgot a lot of them, man.
Remember, y'all was on 48, I was on 46 at Danny. So
Yeah.
And then that's when you brought me into Danny.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
yeah.
We was jamming for the Africans. That's
Yo,
what it was.
yeah.
And then we was getting fired every week.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
And it was Liberian, but they both was Liberian, I think.
Mm-hmm. Whatever they was.
They African. But there's good
It
people
was,
like Sambu
yeah,
just said,
they're good people. Good people. That's what I'm saying. But that's what we had. That's how I met everybody too at that little club.
mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
That's how everybody came together at that
Yep.
club.
Shoot, it's like I was working at Pagano's at the time. I used to I used to borrow lunch meat from there and bring it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear that. So,
So,
Flash, you got any more questions or anything, or?
Well, I know the story, so
Yeah, I know the
Okay.
story too.
and well, it's a conversation I'm not going to touch, but I let somebody else touch it because this conversation been going on forever. Fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. With this transformer scratch, and that's like the elephant in the room where everybody want to know who actually created it. And my take on it is something can be created before it's been heard.
right.
You know what I mean?
Now, if you want to, well, since you put it that way, I don't know if y'all know Grandmaster Nell, but back in the day, that same transform, what y'all call transforming, I was doing. Grandmaster Nell could tell you that even that's the kind of cuts that I was hitting at the Great Skate. We was going, when I battled him, that's the cuts I was hitting, and he ain't understanding, but he'll tell you that I'm the first one they heard do that type of cut. But people used to tape my stuff so much, they used to come from all over just to tape my stuff and take little parts and practice and practice. Then they forget that they heard it on my show. And then they'll go, yo, I did this and did that. And they'll give it a name. Cass and Jeff used to do that a lot. They just take my stuff and just give my cuts names and say they invented it. So that's the same thing with a lot of other people. So right now we got somebody from Germantown saying they made it up, and then they might have made up the name, but they didn't make up the cut. You understand what I'm saying? Just like the beat juggling stuff. I was doing beat juggling way before, I was doing beat juggling around, but at the same time, I turned the turntable to the side. Because I was a drummer. Look, I was a drummer trying to make, that's how I used to mix. I had to take the turntables and try to make beats, play it like a drum. You know, I use my turntable like an instrument. I try to make it like bongos. So as far as with that, I'm gonna say that everybody trying to say it was Cash, Jeff, and Spinbag. So truthfully, yeah, but all I'm saying is that just like he said, you could do a cut, and when I was making my cuts up at the time, man, I wasn't trying to repeat my cuts. Only time I knew that about my cuts is when people played my tapes. Y'all, you know how I mix. I don't repeat nothing. I'm just making it up as I go along. So now, I would never do the same cut at a party. The way the DJs do now. Now, if I would have kept doing the same cuts, then I could have named it. Then I could say, well, this is something I made up. But since I never did that, I can't really claim nothing. And I'm going to always have an argument. I made up way more cuts than the Transformer. I made up the vibrator joint. I made up the chirp. I made all those stuff that Cass and Jeff was hitting. They just broke it down and practiced that one little. Yeah, they just practiced that one little cut that I was doing off those tapes, and they'll practice it for like a year until they got it, and then they're cut because people heard them do it. So, they probably don't like me saying that, but hey, the truth is the truth. Told you I'm grumpy and old now.
Because I think that's the question everybody really wanted to ask. And like you said, you done it, and if you done it yesterday, that don't mean you're gonna do it any other time before. After that,
yeah, I didn't. It didn't interest me. I was inventing different stuff every day. Only way I was. That's how it just was. I'm like that now. I don't practice. I just get on the turntables. They know how I am. That's what I do. And you're not going to beat me doing my own stuff. I don't care how bad you are now. You still ain't gonna beat me doing my own stuff. That ain't happening. I don't care who listening.
You know.
That's a good problem to have. Because when they think they got you, you got something for them.
Yeah, because I'm not practicing. I'm just making stuff up. How you gonna beat me?
So do you think you can beat Jeff and Cash?
Who? Man, they'll never battle me. They'll tell you they'll never battle me. They said that when they was young. They was like, Rasheen just making shit up. I ain't fucking with him. Ask them.
See,
They'll tell you. They gonna battle with me. Because they know I'm about that. I'm still from franchise. Y'all know that. I'm a battle motherfucker. Niggas ain't gonna battle me because that's how I'm one of those dudes. I'm born to battle.
Even if it's not a battle, a showcase.
That'll never happen. You don't care how much money you give them, that ain't gonna never happen. Jeff and Cash ain't gonna never try to battle me. Ever. Not even together. They can surround me and won't beat. I'll let them cheat.
That's a really good and I'm glad that Flash asked the question because you know, me coming out of New York, you know, some of the things that people might say and we have heard is, you know, how is a dude from Philly know so much about whatever, but now you got your own guy that you knew from way back when that has asked the question and you have, you know, answered that. So I appreciate you doing that. Doing that.
And I got the proof. So it's not, you know, most people be talking, but they don't got no proof.
Is it me or is Square not breaking up?
Your phone breaking up.
That's your phone.
Huh?
That's your phone. If you need help in the DJ Information Group, we show you how to use Zoom. We show you how to use OBS. We show you, you know, we teach you about a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I hear everybody clear, but he's low.
Yeah, it's definitely your phone because
it's your phone.
Everybody should hear me nice and clear right now. But
and y'all hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm on a 2005 flip phone. My phone is good.
Are you on a headset?
No. That's probably why too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely breaking up. Or you need to be charged. Maybe you're losing charge right now.
What, you got an Android?
That he got an iPhone.
Yeah.
You got an Android.
that's an inside joke.
Hey, don't be this Android.
But no, but get back on some serious stuff. But Shane, I knew you for years. And I knew the story. And I knew about from Miz, Cass, Jeff. I know the whole story. I know all y'all guys. But my thing is, and like I asked you, why do I feel though you don't feel that you get the respect in Philly? I just think that because Philly is very cliquish, and if you don't quote unquote gicky or you don't kiss nobody's ass, you're not going to get that respect.
Yeah, well, that was it, because I was one of those guys that always had my own. I always had my own radio station. I was the first to have it. So people didn't think I needed help. I had my own record company. You know, everything that I had, I did on my own. So when I guess people were like, yo, well, he don't need no help. He's doing this. And I don't want to give Rasheen no credit because Rasheen's better than me. And I don't want them to look at Rasheen and he take my crowd or he take my money. Something like that. That's how it was, you know, that's basically why a lot of people won't say nothing. They're mostly afraid that I'm going to either take their job, take their something like that. That's the whole thing. Why you don't really hear about me from them. Besides it being cliquish, I was never down with that click stuff. That's why I had my own little thing. So That's
I won't say nothing about your club.
No, but it's Philadelphia is really cliquish, and
yeah,
I get it because I ain't with that bullshit either. But you got a lot of people like yes men, and that's where you have. And if you from Philly, you hear the divide between Jeff and Cash,
right.
and there shouldn't be no divide.
Yeah,
If they good, they good.
right.
It shouldn't be no divide, but it's a line. It's a divide. If
Yeah.
people rock with Cash, just gonna people rock with Jeff. But why can't you rock with both of them? I don't get it.
Yeah. People think that Jeff taught Cash. You know what I'm saying? People just don't know the whole story. That's why we telling the whole story. I gotta, instead of just starting from I just turned the tables that way, I gotta tell you from when I was, first got into music to how I got to where I'm at and how Jeff and Cash come into the picture.
Right. And at that time, I think reason why Cash taught Jeff or they learned from each other is because Jeff the only one had 12s at the time.
That was it. I still had at the time. No, by the time I taught Cash, it was like in the early '80s. So I didn't got those technique 101, B101, some stuff.
10s or 101.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't have them by now. So that's what I taught Cash on. You know what I mean? So Cash, like you said, Jeff didn't had 12s and all that from grandma. So
yeah, you didn't even. I had 12s then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So I was still I was still poor. I was a poor guy in my neighborhood. I never had real equipment, but I always had the top of line. I always had the latest stuff later on in life. I was the first one to have the MP60. I was the first one to have the boombox, in my neighborhood. So people used to come on my block to get the technology from me, I guess. I don't know. I was all first.
I remember always being on your porch. You had the equipment on your porch.
Yeah.
Block.
And what was the board across the street name?
Grand Slam DJ Jam Ray.
Yeah, that's him.
Super Bad Disco. That was he had a lot of beats. Yeah, he had a lot of beats. So I'm saying my group was an awesome group. Anybody tell you that nobody ever beat us to nothing? Not one thing.
I remember the block party on your block. I think that was the first time I was ever nervous spending.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's cool. You did good.
But we pretty much covered everything. Anybody else got any questions? I see the big fella just came in.
Big said, you got anything? You want a question? You want to ask or anything?
I think he's driving.
Oh, he's driving.
Oh, okay.
Well, Flash, I will, before I let Flash take it out, because,
you can take it out. We pretty much covered everything. And Sheen, thanks again.
Oh, man, like I said, I appreciate it.
And it's truly been an honor. And we look at it, we've been sitting here talking about it, and you know how the culture gets to us. And we done talked an hour and 45 minutes, man. So and we enjoyed every minute of it. You get what I'm saying?
And I've never been on Zoom this long.
So yeah, so
well, what we trying to do, we trying to bring the culture and give a lot of people the true information. It ain't information where you hearing it secondhand, you hearing it from the horse's mouth per se.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that is the key. And like I said, I wanted it to come directly from you. Just like when I had on that, our conversation, I said, I'd rather hear it come from you than have it come from someone else, that way it's all clear, it's on the table, and it's done. It's stamped. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
But you're still going to have a lot of, as far as
oh yeah,
people going to be want to know I did this because they still want a little credit. Which I don't even care nothing about the cuts and stuff. I told you I got so many cuts that it don't matter to me.
Right.
I'll make up a cut right now. It don't matter.
I call it the jigga jigga.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now to me.
That was saying boo on favorite word.
That's all right. Man.
Y'all just. I mean, if anybody actually want the name of, they say they did that, I don't care. You can have that. But I did so many things that one thing don't mean nothing to me.
Right. Totally
You know,
feel you on that.
that don't mean, you know what I mean? Right, but right now the biggest thing that people doing in the world is the turntable battle style. That's what everybody's doing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world.
Right,
Not
because
everybody is transforming. Everybody in the world is DJing battle style.
Yeah, even when you order stuff from major companies, with the tables and the mixer, if you order it and you order it, for them to set it up, and if it comes to you, it'll come to you that way. And if you go and look at clip art, you go
Yeah.
and look at clip art images, you could go and type DJ setup, and it'll be clip art, black and white clip art. In the black and white clip art, you see even the turntables are positioned in battle
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, they build the coffins that way now.
Yeah, the coffins are built that way. Everything.
Yeah.
So
But people have no idea that it was me that started that. Cass and Jeff gonna say they started it because they were the first ones that people seen do it, but anybody with real knowledge know it was me. If I taught them, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I taught you. How you gonna say you know what I mean? You
Don't
could
add
say
up.
that to people don't know, but you gotta tell the truth. Don't take it to the grave with you.
Right. Well, it's truly been an honor. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming on. We will definitely send you an invite, so that you can. I don't know if you've already
Well,
joined
he's
the group.
already in a group.
Oh, you're already in the group. Cool.
In the group.
So you'll see more notifications, and at any time,
Yes.
anytime you want to come on to, we sometimes we get on here and we rock out where we are on our tables and we just playing inside our Zoom meeting or something like that. And anytime you want to come in and pop in and do something like that, we all for that. Anytime you just want to come in and just chill with us, we all for that. Any of that, man, because you are part of us and we're part of you, and we just appreciate what you have done for us, and like I said, going back when I was 7 years old, what you started then, and I'm still doing to this day. You know what I mean? So, yes, just yeah. So,
All right.
I salute you, man.
I'm glad y'all still with me, man. That's all.
Salute, King.
Thank y'all
Salute,
very
King.
much.
Thank you so much for
Thank
what
all
you've done for
y'all.
the game, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
And I appreciate y'all, brother, so much, man.
And
All
For the
definitely
respect
let
and
us know
love.
when you want let us know when you coming.
Yeah, and like I say,
Yeah, I will.
like I say, seriously, you find yourself coming to NC and right around the Raleigh area or whatever, just let me know. Give me a call, man. Like I say, I put something on the grill. We sit back, we chill, whatever. I got a big yard, so you ain't got to worry about nobody bothering you.
Right.
None of that.
All right. Well, like I said, if y'all got shows coming up, just invite me to them and give me the date, and I'll be there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that'll work, man.
The way Rasheen drive.
Oh man, I just got a damn. I just bought a new car.
I know
Volvo.
Dave that told me.
Yeah.
Dave told me. I was like, damn, you got another one?
Yeah, I had the Benz last time, Mercedes Benz.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when you passed out.
So what I'm gonna do is, as far as the official conversation, I'm gonna end this part of it for us, and then we can continue.
Right.
So I'm gonna do that. So for everyone here in the DJ Information Group, this is your man DJ Square Knot. We have been truly blessed by a legend, the man himself, Grand Wizard Rasheen, who has just been just dropping the knowledge on us about the history of him coming up and everything, and even down to the way we position our tables and more. So we thank you all for joining us. We thank you for taking the time to listen to what he had to say, and everything is good. So peace and love to you all. Much love. Peace.
Peace, brothers. Thank y'all again.
Peace, King.
Later, bro.